Well, I think that's the first time I've ever had OBS crash on me. I thought I had gotten disconnected from the internet for a second, but no, OBS just crashed. I didn't get a message for an update, so I think it's fine. I don't know what caused that. I might have to give it some settings to protect. So, yeah, that is no bueno. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again. Hopefully, it does not happen again. I don't know what caused. I don't know if I'll have to see if OBS has some sort of like log or something to tell me like why it crashed there. Because, that was weird. Never had that happen before. And I don't have like an update message, so it is all good. Well, as in like I'm all set up on my side of things. Right. Well, I was talking about the destroyer thing. So for some reason I had to like there was always a voice in the back of my head that was like, let me hold on to this like Vern power pass and the express. Well, more so the express mission. The Vern power pass, I held on to it specifically because I forgot I did a Drexion yesterday. I held on to it more so because I didn't want to lose out on the books that you lose out for using a power pass. At the the ones that you can get pre level 50 that I don't do until post level 50 for ease ability. Those kinds of so that was the reason I still have a Vern power pass, but I also specifically I held on specifically to the express mission as a just in case. And and even as someone who did that as a just in case, it still annoys me that I ended up being right about whatchamacallit, about needing to hold on to it. Because all of this could have easily been avoided or they could have avoided all of the backlash they're gonna get from this if they had just stated from the very beginning that that they don't know if they were thinking about what tempo to they were still in the process of debating about whether or not they wanted to do power passes for all the classes or what, which again, whatever. It's just they should have said something, because that's what they're gonna catch the most flack for is and this isn't like, we can kind of tell from the way Rox has been responding that they just found out now about that decision to not give a power pass. And so basically that decision is not in Smilegate's or in Amazon's hands. That's 100% Smilegate's decision. It's just I find it odd since they're the same people trying to be like, well, we don't want you to make you feel like you need to pay, and we want you to catch up super quick, but we don't want to give you any of the stuff that you need to catch up super quick. And it's like, I need you to pick a stance and stick with it, because right now your stance is changing too much. At least in my opinion it is. Also, that makes gold room number 6 in 2 days. Not complaining. Not complaining at all. Oh no. I didn't mean to swap there. Kinda guessed he was gonna be targetable. La la. But anyway, I felt like I beat a dead horse on my opinions on the matter already, so I kind of will stop complaining and then just do what I always say, where try to do what you can do in the situation given. So we're doing math, we're planning out how much farming we have to do, so that way we can work on getting all the resources we need to get stuff done. But to be fair, like, don't forget to complain on the internet about it while you're doing it. Make yourself feel better. Make yourself feel better about it. Because what I had personally been hoping for was, I was hoping that we would get a fate, like we'd just get power passes every time, and then that way I could just not use the express mission on the destroyer, so I didn't have to like sacrifice a good chunk of his whatchamacallit, his guardian raids for like almost 2 weeks to for the express mission, and then he'll have to go do the necromancers and all that stuff, and Belshazzar's palace and shit like that, which I could have just ignored on him with a Fate and Power Pass, and then on the character in June use the express mission on that if we get a class in June. And if we didn't get a class in June, then I still wouldn't care, because then I would just do it on the striker. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I don't think they're gonna find anybody defending them on this decision. Or at least if they do, it'll be interesting to see what their reasonings are. Because I already saw people like on the forum post when Rox was like, "There's no current plans for it," being like, "Understandable." I'm like, "Understandable, my ass, bruh. They're releasing a class next to Vulcan, and like with Vulcan, and then you're saying that you're not gonna release a power pass for the class that you're releasing with Vulcan, like, and then you're saying you're potentially not gonna release classes." All right, hold on. I said I was gonna stop talking about this. I'm gonna stop talking about it. So we're almost done with the dailies, which means I'll probably go do hazardous waters on this character. Also, I also am now realizing that after, oh come on, why is it you fuckers can't ever group up nicely? You guys always just fucking want to sit around like a bunch of idiots. Yeah, but I have my work cut out for me after stream, because now I need to see why all of a sudden OBS decided to be a resource hog, more so than it was before. Because I'm starting to realize that might be why things feel choppy from time to time, even though it happens when I'm not streaming also, so that might not be attached to OBS. But OBS crashed, and it's pulling a bit much on the resources. So basically, I have my work cut out for me after to basically fuck around with it and try to make changes to that it's not a problem. Get critted, bitch. Critical fitty. We should have time to go do Snowpang on the striker. I could do that. Even though, wait, I could probably do that instead because that's probably actually doable within the time allotment. Da-do-do. But yeah, still pretty excited that getting Destroyer. We also got confirmation that we're going to be getting information about the summer roadmap this month later, which, you know, they've probably been working on it for a while. So that'll be, I'm curious to see like what they plan on doing, because I don't think I'm curious to see if my my guesstimations of whether or not they'll actually give us Vieques soon-ish after Volton. Like if that pans out, because like my hypothesis is that we might not get like Vieques that soon after Volton being released. But at the same point, it also wouldn't make sense to delay Vieques too long, because Vieques normal falls between Volton hard and normal item levels. So like basically literally falls like right in the middle. I'm thinking Vieques is like 1430. 1430 item level for normal. And then I think it's like 1460 for hard mode for hers. So I don't know, we'll see what they decide to do. I'm a little interested in how they plan to approach that. Especially if they're doing this no power pass thing. If they're doing this no power pass thing and they don't give us honing buffs, then they kind of really need to give people enough time on their new characters to build out. Because, so like for instance, if it's something like one power pass and one like express mission for every like 2 classes, I don't think that's a bad idea. But if it's like, you know, within a certain time period and not necessarily per class count that they want to do it by, I don't think that's going to work out too well. I don't really think that's going to work out too well, because they've already stated that they decided to, due to player feedback from the initial reaction to the initial roadmap that was released when it wasn't supposed to be released, they said they sped up class releases, which means, well, which could mean any number of things. They still stuck with the one a month, because like on the first roadmap we were supposed to get Destroyer in April and then Arcana in May, and then on the roadmap that is the one that we're on now, that actually went live and actually executed, we got Glaver in April and then we got Destroyer in May. The cadence stayed the same. The only thing that changed was what classes we were getting. So that tells me that we still haven't seen, well, first of all, we have no idea if that was the cadence they were going to keep anyway. Like two new classes a month. Is he like here in front of me? Alright. I should have just thrown it. That's usually one of the big indications that you found the tree sentinel when he's invisible, is if you're running in place on top of him. But basically, if they speed up the classes we're getting, because again, a lot of player feedback, rightfully so in my opinion, was like one class a month is too long. Like there's too many classes. People have classes they want to get in tier 3. People have classes they'd like to try so they could main, blah 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 blah. You need to like speed up class releases. which I wholeheartedly agreed with personally. I think that having too slow of a release with classes is a bad idea, especially with how many content creators could just go to play for other regions, right? Like some of them, like the 3 most popular Lost Ark content creators at the moment, none of them play on NA at the moment because there's just nothing to do on our region. They all play in Korea, which means all of those people watching them are all watching them play Korean and watching all the classes and all the content. And I think more so than the content, they're more like, man, I want to play that class, or man, I want to play that class, or man, I want to play that class. Because content's great and all, but content is, you do it once a week per roster and you're done. That's it. While the classes, you're playing that class every day, all week long. You're doing Guardian raids, Chaos Dungeons, you're doing all this other stuff with it, right? So I think they severely underestimated how much people would like want classes more than content for the most part. And so I'm curious to see how their little hour pass philosophy is going to pan out with the speed up cadence, because I don't know, I feel I'm a betting man, and I feel like betting on well, a little bit, I'm a small time betting man, and I feel like betting that June we might get 2 classes in June, potentially. That might be the June update. There's just 2 new classes. I do think, oh, where am I going? This guy. I do think it's cool though that we're getting the class balance patch on the May update. If you haven't seen what was in the class balance patch for Korea, on my YouTube I have the VOD where I talk about it, and it's time stamped with all the different classes, so you can see all the different changes that are coming in our direction. They've basically verified that we're getting that in the May update, so that's probably pretty good information to know, in case you know, you want to see how your class and what your desired playstyle will change. Some classes got hit relatively hard, other classes not so much. Some classes you could say got pretty buffed. Some, again, not so much. I think the only like class playstyle that was really hit pretty hard is Surge Deathblade. So I think if you're not playing a Surge Deathblade, you're pretty much safe to just play what you want. I think the only like well, you're safe to not change your playstyle, but you should really, especially if you're in tier 3, especially right now, or you're going to be in tier 3 soon, you should definitely check out the like the balance changes that are coming our way, like regardless of whether it's mine or somebody else's, because a lot of tripods got changed on a lot of classes. A lot of, like, for instance, if you play an artillerist, they added some pretty good number chunks to some tripods, which I don't know if artillerists were tripods they took anyway or not, right? So so if that's the case, you might want to look and see if you need to refarm tripods, because I'm pretty sure tripods are probably going up and dropping down in price right now. Like, for instance, as someone who's saying this, I need to look into to scrapper tripods, like what tripods I need to be using, because we're getting some pretty big changes in the fact that we're losing our attack power buff abilities, our 2 abilities, and so that means I don't know the tripods they get replaced with. I don't know if those are like important enough, or if they're changed to something else, and so I need to refarm those tripods. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is that if you want to make sure that you're fine, or that you don't have to spend too much gold trying to do stuff later, like after the fact, I'd probably suggest looking at least and seeing what the tripods, like if any of the tripods or anything on your on the class you play have gotten changed. If yes, then you might want to take a bit of extra time to look and see which ones you should be getting, which ones you should be changing towards, and try to farm those ahead of time, or maybe try to snipe some that are cheap off the auction house. Those are 2 solid options you can do, because I can tell you that right now, well, the average player probably isn't paying attention too closely, or thinking of that far ahead. Like, you're gonna see people probably like maybe taking their stuff off the auction house to sell more expensive, or you'll start seeing more expensive listings on certain tripods, and if you don't know about the class balance changes for those or the tripod changes for that class, you might be like, why are those so expensive? Or why they're going up in price. And that's probably a bad thing, because usually if you there's ever a moment in like an MMO where you're like, why are those getting more expensive, that's a really big red warning flag that you should probably do some research. And I can tell you right now that there are going to be tripods that are going to fluctuate, and there's going to be tripods for some classes that are just that were must-haves and super expensive now, that they're going to be super dirt cheap after the update goes live, because they're not going to be used anymore, and vice versa. There's probably going to be some tripods that you're like, man, those tripods are useless, and those probably got changed to now being like super good. So it's just that's kind of just my opinion. Is I feel like if you haven't done so, you should probably look into the class balance changes. Again, I have a VOD up on my YouTube for it, and even then, like, and it's timestamps to all the different classes, so you don't have to like search through the whole thing. And I did it, and it's at the beginning of the VOD too, so you don't really have to go too deep into it. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be plenty of other videos popping up with that confirmation also, so you can just watch theirs. Basically, what I'm getting at is watch a video on class balances, at least for the class that you play, or to make sure that there's nothing you need to do ahead of time, for like gems and stuff like that. Because like if an ability got changed in a way where it's not really that good anymore, and it's replaced with something else, and then you have gems on it, you're gonna need to refarm those gems. Same thing with the tripods. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So that's just a nice way to save money long term. Like for instance, off the top of my head, War Dancers, they lost their self crit buff, and it got traded for a self stamina mana regen buff, which is one of the cases of a buff getting flipped in a direction where for first intention War Dancers, that's really good, because first intention War Dancers, their main weakness was that they literally were borderline unplayable without a relic set. But now with that change, they don't really need their relic set to play. Like they're fine. But on the reverse, I don't think that change really helped the Esoteric War Dancer that much, because Esoteric War Dancer didn't really have a mana problem, because Esoteric abilities on War Dancers and Strikers don't cost mana. That's because they consume orbs instead of mana. So, you know. So if you're playing like an Esoteric War Dancer, you might want to check to see if maybe you need to change what tripod you put on that row, or if maybe you de-level that skill to get out of that row to then put more points into something else, and then that's a different tripod you have to level. Stuff like that, which is what I need to do, because I'm pretty sure Charging Blow for the most part is probably going to get reduced from, because in its current state you generally took it to level 3, or yeah, to tripod level 3, because it made it easier to hit a target to get the attack power buff. But I think with it losing the attack power buff, I think most players are running at level 4 just for like focus or just distance. Focus is probably like the stronger way. That's actually a pretty good idea. I think I might do that for next stream. I might just like take the weekend and look through at least the classes I play and kind of just talk about potential tripod and like skill changes that you can be working towards now, or like just saving up now to then be ready for when it actually comes out. Because like for instance, Scrapper, this is like our most important tripod right now. This tripod's about to be useless potentially in 2 weeks, because it's losing what makes it so important. Basically with the changes to Scrapper, this is no longer a most important tripod. If you're Taijutsu, I have no idea what the hell your most important one is, but if you're a shock trading Scrapper, now this is your most important tripod. Because that's where all your damage is coming from, and it will always deal a fuck ton of damage. It's gonna be so nice. It's gonna be so nice that I don't have to like hold my death rattle to wait for my Charging Blow to be off cooldown if I accidentally miss it sometimes. Beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. This potentially could be brought down to level 7, so this is another tripod that I can like not use. This might be no longer usable or needed to be used for shock training, for scrappers, for shock scrappers, or even, well, scrappers in general, because you could probably replace it with these two for the focus for shock training, which means this is 8 points that could go some, like this is, well, this is more than, this is like, what? Basically 7 levels of points that could go somewhere else, which is, again, different tripod. So I think you kind of can tell where I'm kind of going with this, where there's a lot of shit that can change depending on what class you play and how you play that class. I don't think Taijutsu Scrapper is going to see much change, like ability wise, but they do get a 5% buff, so that's going to be nice for them. I think even if it comes to the point where like Taijutsu deals more damage than shock training, I might just like shelf the Scrapper rather than swap to Taijutsu, because Taijutsu is fun, but I like the big numbers from shock. But let me tell you, boy, you get some big fucking numbers. It's gonna be hard to give up 15 million fucking crit awakenings and some, like, with buffs up, like almost 10 million fucking crit death rattles. Ooh, bro, that shit is spicy. Fucking Supernova hits for like 5 mil sometimes on a crit. I love Supernova. I think it's like visually one of my favorite abilities on this shock training Scrapper. Yeah, so what you use. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm getting at with the so you might want to like just double check, just take a peek at some videos, take a peek at the actual, you can also go to the actual Korean website itself to check what the changes are. It probably won't be in this video, but on the next stream, since I plan on covering at least I plan on covering the classes I play. I'm not going to do it for all classes. I'm just going to do it for my classes. On the next stream, I'll cover like the changes, because I'll spend the weekend looking at Loa and seeing what like the higher level Scrappers or like the Korean Scrappers are doing, and like Berserkers, see if there's any changes on what I play. And then I'll talk about it on stream on Monday. And then in the VOD for that stream on Monday, I will have a link in the description for stuff. So you can just wait for this. So you just have to wait for that, or you can go look for it yourself, because the link is again in that class balance patch VOD. It's in there. You can go check it out. The website will be in Korean, so you'll have to Google Translate the whole page. There's some stuff in there that you're like, what the fuck does this even mean, with the way it gets translated, but for the most part, it's relatively understandable what's going to happen. So it's not that big of a conundrum. And there's a lot of people playing right now. That, or there's just a lot of bots. Rare to see like 3 red channels in the ocean at this time of day on a Friday. You usually only see that on the weekends because of the sailing co-ops. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. So I don't have salad. I guess just another night for curry, maybe? Question mark? I didn't see if anybody cooked anything today. I had steak yesterday with curry. That shit was so good. Steak with like coconut Thai curry. Ooh, on white rice. Oh, so fucking delicious. Just thinking about it makes me drool. Oh, I wonder if... Oh no, that's another... Man, just thinking about like what tripods are getting changed makes me go, man, there's a lot of shit I need to look into. There's a lot of stuff to look into. Snowpang. Snowpang's kind of fun. It has a little quest line that it takes a while to get done, because you only get to complete, like, work on it every time you come in here, so you do it like one at a time. And if you're like me, I don't come to Snowpang unless it gives me pirate coins. So it took me a little while to get it done, but once you do get it done, you get this little scarf that lets you turn into a snowman, like costume that you get to waddle around in. It's really cute. Actually, I can probably just hold up. Drop the snowball. Oh, it won't let me transform. Never mind. I was gonna try to show you what it looks like. It's pretty cute. Makes you look like one of the snow people, the snowman people. And I think I was taking the scarf that you wear as in that snowman form changes, like the color of it changes depending on what depending on what like scarf you choose, because you have like 3 different colors you can choose when you finish the quest line. So but yeah, so in case you're wondering, today Snowpang is um the pirate coin island. Forpe is the card pack island, and then Asura Isle is just, unless you really like the PvP, you can just ignore it. It's basically useless because you only get silver. So my suggestion is obviously pirate coins, because you get the pirate coins and then you get the high seas chest, which you can then use to convert to more pirate coins, which is probably what I'll end up having to do on Destroyer. So it'll be pretty. That's just stuff you can do to be prepared ahead of time. Let's see. What else we got? Besides just chilling, waiting for this guy. I don't care too much for the skins coming this next month. It's like, I know there's a lot of people that want them. At least like from what was preemptively shown, I don't really care. Obviously, there might be something in there that catches my attention. Because I didn't really care too much for the Noble Banquet armor set from the Arc Pass. And then I actually saw it in game on people, and I was like, yo, that's actually pretty fucking nice. And like even the male version, which at first I was like, yo, that looks pretty bad. When I started seeing like people wear it and like color it, I was like, ooh, baby, that looks good. Like the friend of mine that he plays fucking Paladin, he's got his like pimped out in like gold, and he's like a white scarf, and I'm like, bro, looking fly, baby. It's pretty good, pretty cool. If they have like, well, if they have shades, I'm definitely gonna grab some shades. Because like, there's like, if you notice in your skin menu, you have like show you real quick before it. You have a slot for like face wear and, you know, like 2 face wears, like for eyes and mouth, and then whatever the hell these are for. I don't know what these are for on the side. So if there's any like shades or something that look cool, I'll probably grab them. Maybe that there's a little bit, but the clothes wise, because it's all like casual modern day clothes, which, you know, people want that, so that's fine. I don't personally care too much for it. For like regular modern day, I have this weird thing where I don't like stuff like jeans and stuff in my fantasy games, but you give me a nice like suit, like the Noble Banquet stuff, and I'm like, put that shit on everything. Especially like spellcasters kind of thing. Like, yo, I am a sucker for like mages in like suits kind of stuff, because like, I don't know, it's just so cool. I like that. I've never been a big fan of like wizards with their like robes and shit like that. Like, give me a wizard and like you know, like a suit and tie who's just casting like fucking fireballs and meteors out of the sky. Like, that's cool. Oh. Almost had him. Better back it up, baby. Wee. Deadly. Oh. I thought they were gonna throw a snowball, so I was trying to like body block, and then they bamboozled it, and they were just like, yo. Oh, damn it. I don't have enough time. Oh, well, we made it. And so they bamboozled it, and they threw the big one instead, and then it killed me. I died. that was a good call though, because I feel like more and more people are now like body blocking. So if you see someone trying to defend their partner, like their teammate, it's probably a pretty safe call to like throw a big one instead of throw a snowball. So that way you can like get the kill. Baby. That was a good big snowball throw. That was a good big snowball throw right there, if I do say so myself. There you go. Oh, oh, Baba, oh, Baba weave, Baba weave. We got this. We got this. Hide in the bush. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, bush strats, dude. Whoop, whoop. Bro, the bush strats actually work. Like, I cannot believe the bush strats worked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, I'm pretty sure they saw me running around that corner into the bush, and then they just, like, I don't know, questioned their life choices of, like, chasing a snowman into a bush, and instead they were just like, you know what? We're gonna, like, call it good. They just let me live. And then the blizzard was so perfectly timed where, like, I think they were too busy trying to find a safe spot rather than like, secure a kill for the stuff, and it's just like, come here, Joster, come here, come to me. Look what they did to my boy. I like Snowpang. Snowpang's fun. It's a nice little change of pace. Apparently this is like I think they say that, I've heard this is like a GVG thing. Like one of the GVG events you can have is Snowpang. Like a snowball fight. Which I think is pretty sick. That's gonna be like, bruh. The amount of people that will like min-max like the snowball fight and like strategize the shit out of it, like, oh shit, buddy. Nobody ever expects the Scrapper Inquisition. Yeah, I'm just trying to play defense on the biggie boy. Good defense. Nice. Nice. Victory. Sweet, sweet victory. Where's the... I think the portal spawns like here. Roughly? Yeah, there we go. Pretty good, pretty good. Well, that is, like usual, that is it for the stream today. Nice little change of pace. You know, we PvP'd. We'll probably be PvPing a lot more the next couple days to kind of just try to get to Supreme 4. I still cannot take it seriously that it's called Supreme 4 because it sounds like I'm ordering something off of like a Taco Bell menu. But yeah, so we'll do our best to try to get to Supreme 4 in the next couple weeks. Save it up. Depending, again, my internet, hopefully it won't take too long, but I should have the VOD up on YouTube in the next couple hours to, and I'll have it like timestamped with all the stuff I talk about and the PvP and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that. If you know, as always, thanks for watching. If you're watching the VOD on Twitch or YouTube and you made it this far, thanks for watching the whole thing, or at least going this deep into it. Let me know if you're on YouTube, like just leave me a comment how you feel about the May update and stuff like that. I'll have a link to the May update in case you haven't seen it by then, the official like website. Or when we go over it, it'll be in the description. Like, should be like above the timestamps probably, or in between the links. It'll be there. It'll be there. Trust me. So thanks for watching. Hopefully y'all have done enough pre-planning and stuff for any, if you're someone like me who's been waiting for Destroyer. and hopefully you can enjoy it. You know, you've been having fun with Lost Ark, and you've been taking it at a good pace. All in all, thanks again, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.